Questions he may have.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And my Republican friends have called this National Police Week. And the chairman of the committee opened up his remarks by referring to National Police Week. He didn't say local police week or certain police week. He said National Police Week. And that's how my Republican friends have been advertising this week. And I'm just puzzled by the fact that when my Republican friends passed their rules package in January, they made in order a bill to recognize and praise all of our police. And it included local, it included the state police and the federal police. And somewhere along the line, a decision was made to change that. I mean, you made it in order, we were just waiting for it to come up. And you made a conscious decision to remove some of the police from this bill. Why did you do that, Mr. Biggs? I mean, what was the rationale behind going back, changing what you originally had brought forward? Why did somebody think it was a good idea to take out, for example, the Capitol Police?
So I would just think, I'd beg to differ with you. I think you're mischaracterizing what's happening here today. So, for instance, in the Garbarino bill, that's assault against a law enforcement officer. Doesn't matter whether it's federal or local. The other one is actually for federal law enforcement officers. That's 3091.
No, I mean, the concurrent resolution that you are offering
And then we get to
focuses on the local police. So somebody made a decision. Why did you do that?
And then you move to the third bill. So you're trying to couple, I think, the whole picture, and you're trying to say.
No, in the rules package.
I understand.
Yeah, you had a bill that
Yeah.
that basically recognized all the police.
That's correct.
Including the federal police.
And this package before.
And this
Oh, I don't
one
want to
does
interrupt.
that,
I'm
right.
sorry.
No, and I'm just curious,
Yeah.
who made the decision to say, well, we don't want to recognize the Capitol Police, or we don't want to recognize and praise the federal police?
I think that you're mischaracterizing this, and so let me just help you out. I want to help you out if I can. You've got 3 bills before you. That's the package for Police Week, and it includes federal, state, and local officers. And I just gave you the reasons why. I'll do it again.
H-Con Res 40 does not, I could read it to you, it doesn't recognize federal police officers. I mean, I could, the original version that you introduced, that the Republicans introduced as part of their rules package that was going to be made in order, did. And so somebody made a decision to narrow it. I mean, and it's because I'm assuming that, and this is on H-Con Res 40, when it says condemns calls to defund, disband, and dismantle or abolish the police, I'm assuming that that doesn't include Marjorie Taylor Greene's call to defund the FBI, for example.
So we're going to, I guess we're going to just keep talking past each other. This is not meant to be a single bill. This is a package of bills. That's what, and let me just remind you, I just want to remind you that every year that you guys were in charge, you passed a package of bills. That's what we do. We do pass a package of bills. And this bill, and this particular effort includes a package of bills.
So which part of this bill praises federal law enforcement officials?
I'm not sure that this particular bill by itself does,
So
but
that's my point. So somebody made a decision to do that. And I mean, and I don't really, and I don't quite, I mean, what is so controversial about praising the Capitol Police or the FBI? I know a number of members, and I think Mr. Biggs, including you, voted against providing the Capitol Police a congressional gold medal. So I'm just wondering, what is the, is that, I mean, what is controversial about praising the Capitol Police? They protect all of our lives and the lives of our staff here.
I don't think there's anything controversial in praising the Capitol Police. But I do think there is something controversial when you take a package of bills that are meant to be a package of bills, and you have the first bill that specifically applies also to the feds. You have another bill that applies to the feds as well. It applies to all of them. And then you get to this one, and this, so you're going to say, oh my gosh, you guys are just the most unreasonable folks.
Nothing in any of these bills praises the Capitol Police.
Oh, is that it? Is that what you're looking for? You're just looking for a sentence that says, oh.
Well, I'm no.
We've done that. Have we not done that?
I'm going to yield to Mr. Nadler in a minute, but I'm just curious as to, you had a bill that was introduced as part of your rules package, which included all the police, and now you have changed it. So I don't think it was an accident that you changed it. Obviously, I think some of your members wanted to fund the FBI, and some of your members are still, I have a problem with the Capitol Police because of what happened on January 6th. They don't like the fact that the Capitol Police defended this institution from people who wanted to basically overturn the results of an election, and it's an inconvenient reality for them. But I mean, but it'd be something. I mean, so maybe that's it. I'm just trying to say, why was a decision made to?
So I'm happy to elaborate.
And in the markup, by the way, my understanding is in the markup, these things were offered and they were all rejected. Mr. Nadler, I don't know whether you want to.
So
Well,
I would
that's
hope I
what
get a
wanted-
chance to respond. Mr.
That's what I wanted to say. And HCON Res 40, as you noticed, refers only to local law enforcement.
Right.
In every paragraph.
Right.
And it refers to the, in 2020, there was leftist and progressive politicians called for the defunding of the police, whereas in 2020, there were 21,000 murders. We, the Democrats on the committee during the markup last week, offered repeated amendments to add federal police, to refer to the federal police that we were praising them to refer to the January 6th attack, not only to the 2020 Black Lives Matter riots. All of these amendments were either voted down by the majority, by the Republicans, or ruled ungermane. Now, we thought they were all germane, but they were all ruled, but some of them were ruled ungermane, and the others were all voted down. So there was a conscious decision by the Republicans not to deal with federal law enforcement and not to deal with the January 6th insurrection, presumably because Donald Trump was responsible for the January 6th insurrection. I yield back.
Mr. Biggs, you wanted to respond?
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you want to take me down a rabbit hole, and that's
No,
great.
I-
That's great. No, I mean, you do.
This is a
I mean,
simple
this
question.
is all about January 6th for you guys because
No.
you're a one-note piano. I get it.
No.
So when you start hitting the piano
No,
about January 6th, let's just say, I get where you're coming from, but let's also talk about the Durham report that just came out
Yeah,
today.
all right.
And let's talk about this as what it is. It's a package of bills that deal with federal and local law enforcement.
So,
But it didn't deal with it the way you wanted, so
no,
now it's a January 6th issue.
wait,
So I
so-
get it. That's
so
all
you-
you got. So go
Yeah.
ahead. Hang your hat on that.
yeah, you guys made this decision, by the way, before the Durham report came out. I mean, you noticed this bill last week. I don't know whether you had an advanced copy of the Durham report, but I think the Durham report was a colossal waste of money. But let me just point out for the record, since you brought it up, federal prosecutors have secured convictions or confessions from Trump's campaign manager, deputy campaign manager, fundraiser, chief strategist, national security advisor, 2 foreign policy advisors, his personal lawyer, and his accountant. And Trump has been charged with 34 felony counts, and a jury of his peers said that he is a sexual abuser. Special Counsel Mueller issued 25 indictments against Russian nationals who attempted to undermine the 2016 election at the orders of Russian President Vladimir Putin. And I did a cursory reading of the Durham report online. I don't see any indictments. I think a number of you were saying there'd be multiple indictments. I don't know, did I miss something? Were there indictments?
Well, I don't know who said there'd be multiple indictments, but what I do,
Mr. Radcliffe, who was a former colleague who served in the
But I would
previous
just-
administrations, said lots of indictments.
well, I can't speak for Mr. Radcliffe, but I can tell you that trying to get an indictment out of Merrick Garland is going to be pretty darn hard unless you're a Republican, then you're likely to get
So
indicted.
essentially, I think what you're saying to us is that the reason why, for example, federal law enforcement was not included is because there are some of you who do not want to praise the FBI or actually favor defunding the FBI.
There may be. I'm not going to speak for anybody else. I'm just going to point out that this was intended to be a package of bills, and you've honed on a thing that you don't like, which is January 6th, so I get it.
I mean, it's a very simple question. The Republicans in their rules package made a bill in order that praised all of our police. Somewhere along the line, you decided to narrow it down. And nobody can really explain to me why. But nonetheless, you did. But I have one other question for you, Mr. Biggs. It's a little bit of a this is a little off topic, but since you're here, I wanted to ask you. So I noticed things like the fact that on March 29th of this year, you introduced an astoundingly high number of bills, 521 bills, if I'm right, to slash funding for critical departments and agencies spanning the federal government, everything from the Council on Environmental Quality to the Office of Government Ethics, but over 500 bills.
Right.
Do you know how much it cost the American taxpayers for you to do that?
Yeah, but I know how much it would save if those bills were actually enacted. You know how much it would save if those bills were enacted?
Yeah, but I guess.
I mean, do you know how
Well,
much?
no, I guess the deal is you could have put on your website a list of the agencies you want to abolish or whatever, but you introduced 500 bills.
Yeah.
So it actually, the Government Publishing Office, GPO, alone, just them, it's $18,126 to be precise. And that's just to make publicly available your 521 bills. And I ask unanimous consent to insert the GPO letter in the record. And that doesn't take into account.
Without objection.
That doesn't take into account the costs incurred by the clerks to process the bills, the parliamentarians to review and refer the bills, and so on. So you wasted over $18,000 of taxpayer dollars in what? I guess an attempt to make a point about spending. But the ironic thing is that while you're decrying wasteful spending, government spending, you're wasting taxpayer dollars on a stunt that and that's it. It's a stunt. And if every member of Congress basically did what you did, we would that would be over 200,000 bills at a cost of nearly $8 million. So I pointed out because I know everybody around here likes to make all kinds of statements, and they think it's noteworthy or whatever, but there's a cost to all of this. And I just thought we should say that for the record, because I hope others don't follow your example by doing the same thing, because it will cost millions and millions of dollars.
Well, thanks for bringing that up, because it's obvious that you didn't look too closely, nor did you consider how much that would have saved. If those bills would have been enacted, it would have saved over $100 billion a year.
Well, you could have introduced them all as one bill, too. And you're in charge, so you guys can do whatever, bring whatever you want to bring up.
Look,
but I just pointed out for the record.
Yeah, it's beautiful that's your issue, but I get it. Everybody around here is a political figure, and we do a lot of political things, and we're trying to make a point. And you know what? If those bills were enacted, you'd save $100 billion a year. You'd save over $1 trillion over 10 years. That's what you would get. And so I was happy to do it. I would encourage my colleagues to take a close look at those bills and see what they want to enact, and that'd be a good thing.
Yeah.
Hey, before you click on the next video, if y'all could do me a big favor and hit that like button. The algorithm loves it, and so do I, because it helps promote these videos and get the message out about what our government has been doing. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications, because every time I put out a video, you want to know about it, right? Thanks again, and have a good one. See you on the next one. Peace.